guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to see how I achieve this hair and makeup look, just keep watching. All right, what's up guys? So I'm gonna take you through my basic everyday makeup routine. I can do it really fast, but I'm gonna kind of slow it down a little bit for you guys. Typically it takes me about 7 to 10 minutes to do a full face. I enjoy putting it on, but if this routine is a little too much for you, please leave a comment below because I do have like a 5-minute basic run around town makeup that I could show you as well. The first thing I do is I like to prep my skin. This is Dermalogica Intensive Moisture Balance. I have dry skin, so this probably would not be a good product for you if you have oily skin because it's extremely moisturizing. So I'm gonna put that everywhere. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a primer. This is an extremely inexpensive primer and I absolutely love it. It's the Master Prime by Maybelline. You can get it at Walmart, well, about that much. I'm gonna go in with that all over my face. I'm gonna put that all over and let that kind of soak into my skin. In the meantime, I'm gonna take a Real Techniques Beauty Blender. This is my favorite one because it has a flat side, as you can see, so it's super easy to use, and I'm just gonna get it wet. So I basically want it wet enough that when you can wring it out like one time, but it's still really damp to the touch. And then I'm gonna go in first with my foundation. Today I'm gonna be using the MAC Studio Sculpt. My color is NC 25, which is a neutral cool. I love this foundation because it gives you great coverage, but it's not too cakey and it doesn't transfer as bad as some of the other foundations do. But you can still see your skin through it, so it's not like 100% like theatrical coverage, but it's good coverage. And I'm just going through with the Beauty Blender and kind of smashing it in. And I'm working off the palm of my hand. Now, I think there are some things that you can skimp on that you do not need to spend a lot of money on. And I'll go through some of those products, but I do not believe foundation. I shouldn't say I don't believe foundation is one of them. I feel like with foundation, it's a little harder to get a cheap foundation if you don't know what you're doing because you need to match it exactly to your skin tone. So I think you're gonna get more bang for your buck if you go and have someone help match you, because then you're gonna get the right shade right away and you're not gonna be having to buy a lighter and a darker, trying to blend it. This one from MAC retails for right around like $35 and it lasts me, I would say like 3 months or so, and I'm wearing it every single day. So it lasts quite a long time for the price. I love it because it comes in like a squeeze bottle, so you get every last drop out of it. I'm not a huge fan of the glass bottles because I feel like I end up wasting so much of it because I can't like slow down the pour. It just comes out so fast. Make sure that you get your neck, obviously. The thing I really like about this foundation is it's buildable, meaning the more you layer, the more coverage you're gonna get. So if you're going for more like an evening look, you can layer it on. More mature skin, I highly recommend mixing your foundation with a little bit of moisturizer. Foundation or too dry of a foundation, it settles into those fine lines. It doesn't look right. A younger gal, when you have more oily skin, then you can skip the moisture part of that and you can switch your primer to more of an oil control. So there's foundation. Now we're gonna go into concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. It's my absolute favorite. And I'm gonna go under the eyes, down the nose, on the mustache, a little bit right there. And then I have a scar. I don't know if you guys can pick it up on camera, but I have a scar here. I had a bone spur removed. And so I just like to put a little there. I'm gonna go in with the same Beauty Blender and just smush it in. I like to kind of press it in because I feel like I get a little bit more coverage and it's not just wiped all away. Because sometimes if you go in too hard with the Beauty Blender, you're just wiping all the makeup off. Especially in the fine lines, I'm really pressing, and that's why it's really important to have your Beauty Blender damp because it's gonna help it to stick into the skin, but not be too cakey. I'm gonna go through, I like to take a Norwex rag, that's what I wash my face with. I could do a whole video on Norwex rags. I love them. They have silver in the rags, so they're very soft, but they kill bacteria, and I like to wash my face with them at night. And I also like to go in and wipe off any makeup I get on my lips as I go. Now I'm gonna go in with the setting powder, and I like to use the Airspun loose face powder. This you can get at Walmart or Walgreens. It's super cheap. My color is honey beige. It lasts forever. The trick is to only peel off part of the sticker so that it's not dumping in the lid all the time. Shake it onto the top, and then I'm using kind of a stiffer face brush. I don't like to use this brush for like bronzer or highlighter because it just picks up way too much product. But I love it for setting foundation with because I can go a little heavy-handed on it because I'm just using something the color of my skin, so it's not that big of a deal. Again, I'm just kind of working it in places I don't want to be shiny. The reason I like to kind of set everything right now is because I feel like it's easier for you to apply the other products if your face isn't so tacky. Because before you set it, it's a little tacky, and so it's gonna suck it up. So if I go in with a blush and I still have tacky face from the foundation, it just doesn't blend well. So especially if you're new to makeup and you're a little bit scared of using those type of products like bronzer or highlighter, setting this on there, it's gonna give you a little smoother surface, so you're not gonna get such a concentration of pigment, if that makes sense. Now I'm going in with a very soft brush. This is the Real Techniques. I don't even know what number it is, I'm sorry, but it's their big one, and it's really soft. It's a soft brush, which is important because I'm gonna use the MAC bronzer. Normally I like Clinique bronzer because it's really easy to build on. If you're scared of bronzer, go with the Clinique bronzer. I like the Sun Kissed. This is MAC Gimme Sun. And I like it, it's just crazy pigmented, so you have to be very careful. So I'm literally just pop, pop, pop. And then the first thing I do is like to lift my hair up, and I go right into the forehead and then down, kind of an outline of my face. Again, I'm just doing a light amount. I'm doing a little contouring under here, and on my chin, and under here, and then right around the hairline to make my forehead look smaller. And then I take what's left and I just do a little all over to give me a little sun-kissed, and then also to blend it. Take a little down, especially because I have self-tanner on right now, so I want to blend that down my neck a little bit. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my blush brush. This thing is old. It's like 100 years old. It's just a regular old blush brush with a soft tip, so nothing too stiff. Usually the shorter the brush, the more pigment you're going to pick up. So I want a nice fluffy one, and I'm going in with my highlighter, and this is MAC Oh Darling. And I'm not scared of highlighter. I love highlighter. My friend used to say you have to highlight so much that Jesus can see you from heaven. So we're going in with highlighter right above the apples of my cheeks, under my eyes. I'm gonna do a little on the tip of my nose, my lip, chin, and then I like to just put a tiny little bit on my brow bone, like above it. Again, this is it's a pigmented highlighter, but it's not gonna give you like lines of glitter. Again, I'm 35 years old, so I have to be careful with my glitter, which, I mean, live your life, girl. If you're gonna wear glitter, do it, but I have to watch out. Okay, second thing, I'm gonna go with blush, and this is Blush Baby by MAC as well. It's a very good, like, kind of classic color blush. And I'm gonna go in, just a little smile, and slightly up the cheeks. Now again, you don't have to do all the things. You can take bits and pieces of this that you like. Again, I like a full face of makeup, so it makes me feel good, but do you, boo-boo. You don't have to put on a full face of makeup if you don't want to. Okay, so all of the face products that I'm gonna put on are on. Now I'm gonna go into the brows. This is where I like to work in some of my cheaper products. You'll see kind of coming through. And I've tried a lot of products. I've tried the expensive ones too, so these are the ones I enjoy that are still pretty cheap. This is e.l.f. Clear Mascara. It's $2. The only thing I don't like about it is it's kind of small. It comes in like 2 compartments, so it doesn't have a lot of product in there. So I actually prefer the Covergirl Clear Mascara, but I'm like the person that if it's okay, I have to use all of it because I feel bad that I spent money on it and I'm wasting it. Then I'm just going in with an eyelash like wand, a disposable one, and I'm lifting up my brows, and then I'm kind of shaping them down. Now I do have microbladed brows. They're kind of muted now. I got them over a year ago, but they're still there. So I have a little bit darker eyebrows than I would normally. So I do that. Then I'm gonna go in with Wonder Brow. I get this on Amazon. It's $20. I might try the L'Oreal version of this after this is gone, but I just bought a new one. So I love this. It's waterproof. It's super easy to use. And I'm gonna go in with a MAC angle brush. You can see that. This is a little guy. And I'm gonna, right from the brush of the Wonder Brow, I'm gonna take this, coat it. And then I always like to start where I want the most pigment, so I'm gonna go right in the arches of my brow. And I'm just making kind of like light feathery motions. You can use a brow pencil if that's more your speed. This gives a little bit more dramatic color, but I like how the brush strokes give a more natural look. And I have a lot of crazy hair, obviously you can see it, but so I like a bolder brow too, because I feel like it just goes with my wild mane of hair. And both brows are in right now, so work those brows, don't be afraid. And again, I'm just doing like small little flicking motions, lifting them up. All right, brows are done. I'm gonna wipe that brush off. And then I like to let it sit for just like half a second, well, usually long enough for me to clean off the brush. And then I'm gonna go in with that same mascara wand and I'm gonna break them up a little bit so that they're more natural, a little crazy. Filling in your brows can really change your whole look. So if you've never tried it, give it a whirl, you'll really like it. Now I'm gonna go in and start my eye makeup. The first thing I like to do, I love the MAC paint pots. I have, my two favorite colors are Soft Orchid, which is this one, and Painterly. Painterly is just a little bit lighter than this, but it's skin toned as well. I like to buy the skin toned ones because they go with any shadow. And what you're gonna do with that is you're gonna put a little on your finger and you're gonna go from your lash line all the way to the bottom of your brow. What this is gonna do is it's going to help your eyeshadow to stick and stay all day and to keep it from creasing. One thing you wanna be careful is you wanna make sure you really blend this area. This area tends to be the spot where I like, later in the day I'll be like, oh, I just left that, missed that. Is one of my favorite shadows. It looks great on so many different skin tones. This is called All That Glitters by MAC. It's kind of a champagne-y pink. And I'm gonna go over my entire lower lid with it. I also like to keep my beauty blender nearby because if I notice like, if I went a little crazy with my blush or if I got a little crazy with my concealer, this is a great way. Or if you get any like little bits of shadow, you can pick them up with this. It's awesome. Now I'm gonna go in the top with Brule, B-R-U-L-E from MAC, and it's a very light matte, kind of flesh toned. And I'm gonna go under the brow that I just filled in. And then I'm gonna go in with one more, but I'm gonna use my shadow brush. Oh, the shadow brush is what I've been using this whole time, and this is a MAC, and I don't know the number. I'm sorry, I'll try to find it and link it in the description, but it's one of those short kind of fatties. And I'm gonna go in the inner corners of my eye and the outer corner. And normally I use a little baby brush for this, but I can't find it, so we're just gonna go with what we get. No big deal. See how it just kind of gives a little brightness? And this shade is, I can't even read it, but I'll find it for you and I'll link it in the description. But it's a shimmery white. Again, it takes such a little bit that you'll have it forever. Just the inner corners in it. See how it just makes me look more awake? I'm using the Real Techniques. This is a fluffy blending eye brush. I'm gonna use, for this one, I'm going to go in with my Stila palette here. Now, if you don't wanna go and get all of these MAC shadows, which again, I think you'll use them like crazy, they're very neutral, but if you don't, this is my favorite so far palette. It's called Soul. It's by Stila. And look at this thing has been through a lot, but I love it because it's a neutral palette. You can use this on the upper corner, like I said. This is their Being. You can use this in the inner corner, like I showed you. This one is empty, but that's the one I used to put all over, like where I would put All That Glitters. So this is a great palette. Right now I'm gonna go in with this one. It's called Peace. It's picking up a little dark on camera, but it's kind of like a dark gray. And I'm gonna go right in. See where I'm headed? And I'm just gonna rock my brush back and forth like that. Now, since I already have shadow on and I already have that eyeshadow primer, it's allowing that to blend in really nicely. So if you're scared, it's good to put a little on. Even if you put a little flesh tone shadow from your lash line to your brow line, it'll just help the other colors that you're putting on just blend more smoothly, especially if you're scared of blending them. Or if you're using a really high pigmented palette, like a Morphe palette. Now, let's say you don't wanna, let's say you're not ready to go buy all the things. You can use that Tarte concealer as your eyeshadow base as well. You can use a concealer for that. Now, I love the paint pots, but again, my makeup bag, it did not happen overnight. Makeup is expensive. So buy them as you need them and as you want them. And also, don't be afraid to go to the counter and ask the girls advice. They want to help you. Now that I've got this in the corner, I'm going to go in with that short brush. It's clean now. And I'm just going to blend it one more time. Just kind of go over it lightly. And I have a kind of a damp towel here that I'll work with. I'm just making sure that's all blended. This came with a naked palette, but you get the idea. This is the brush I'm using. This is what I would normally use for that inner corner. I'm gonna go through with that same color I just used, the Piece, and I'm gonna do underneath on my lower lashes. So I'm gonna just go like right here. I don't like to put mascara eyeliner on my lower lashes because it closes the eye and I wanted my eyes to look big. So I like to do that because it kind of ties in. You can see how it ties in the makeup. I put in the crease, it just connects it. Now I'm gonna go in with another one of my favorite inexpensive products. This is Maybelline Master Precise All Day. My favorite marker-like eyeliner. I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna use this mirror so I can get close to you, but so you can still kind of see what I'm doing. So I like to go in and just lightly touch it. It's very smooth. The reason I like the marker versions of eyeliner more is because I don't know if I can do this with this hand, but I feel like I'm not yanking on my eye so much, which is a problem, especially if you're trying to keep your eyes from looking all crazy and saggy. So now I've just done from here to here, which that's fine. You can leave it like that if you want. I kind of like a little bit of a cat eye. So I'm gonna go off, usually I go off the corner like that and just create a little bit of a cat eye. Now once I put my mascara on, it's not gonna seem so like dramatic. Like right now it's kind of like, ooh, hello. But once I put the mascara on, it's gonna blend right in. But love, love, love this eyeliner. Super cheap, awesome, get it. To go in, and I'm gonna curl my lashes with the Laura Mercier eyelash curler. I love it because it's so compact. The back just flips down and you get up in there and you pinch it. And now I'm gonna go in with the Babe Eyelash Serum. Now, some people put this on at night. It helps your eyelashes to grow. I like to put it on with my makeup because I don't remember to put it on at night. So it's better to do it like when you're gonna remember than not at all. So I'm going in, I'm just following my lash line. And again, this just grows your lashes nice and long. It's a protein treatment for your eyelashes. I'm gonna let that dry for just a second. Favorite mascara. Now, guys, if you have a favorite mascara, leave it in the comments below because I'm always looking for a mascara. Now, I have long lashes, but they're kind of puny. And so I want something that's gonna be a drier mascara that I can build on, that's gonna give me volume and length and not be too wet. So I love Almay Extreme Length Mascara, or it used to be called Get Up and Grow. Either one, same thing. But I always have two. I have one that's older and one that's a brand new one, and I like to take them and switch them out. Now, you don't have to be this extra, you can just use whatever, but I like mascara after it's a little dried out because I feel like I get a better application with it. Now, I always do this part first, the lower lash, because I don't want to, when I look up, I'm going to get mascara on the top, so I want to do it down here first. I'm just kind of rocking it like that. Now I'm going to go in with the top, and I'm going to start at the base, and I'm going to slowly turn that wand. I do a million coats of mascara, especially if I'm not wearing lashes and I just want mine to look long. I do a lot of coats. People make the funniest faces when they're putting on mascara, so I can't wait to watch this back because I'm sure I'm looking like a weirdo. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second. Again, all I did was take the new brush and put it in the old one, and then I use the old brush because it's a little bit more dried out, and I like that because it's not as, when it's wet, it tends to be more like spider-like, and I like them to be really like voluminous and kind of separated but not into chunks, if that makes sense. So I've let it dry for a minute and I'm gonna go in one more time. Now you can kind of tell if you went in too soon because like on this side I noticed it was starting to chunk a little, so I'm gonna chill out on that eye. I kind of like to let it dry for a second before I go off and do whatever, because if I open my eyes really wide I get these little tiny mascara lines, so I like to kind of just let it dry and do a little check to make sure I'm not tacky. I wear quite a bit of eye makeup, as you can see. So I don't usually do a bold lip. If I'm gonna do a bold lip, I do a lighter eye. It's kind of my rule. But lately I've been loving this Mineral Fusion Sheer Moisture Lip Tint. Here's the problem. Maybe you guys have this problem too. I love these little pencil lipsticks. I think they look so nice and natural, but the lids suck. They always come off on your purse. So I have to like washi tape them on. It's super ghetto, but if you guys have any tips for me, or you know of any that are awesome that the lids are better, let me know. Because I wish I could just turn this all the way down, but can't. So then I'm just gonna go in. Sometimes I'll do a liner if I'm gonna do like a lip kit or something fancy. Today I'm just doing the pencil creamy tinted moisturizer. So see, it doesn't have a lot of shine. It's just natural. Now let's fix this crazy hair. He's like a creeper. He just won't go away. I'm trying to sign off and it's awkward with him in there. That's all for today. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you like videos like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video with me again.